Hello everybody, can you hear me? Still trying to figure this whole restream thing out. Streaming to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Hello. Sounds good. Thanks for the feedback, John. Hey Ruthwick, nice to see you again. And there should be a bit of music in the background just to kill the silence. So if you hear that, would be nice to give me feedback as well. Otherwise I can increase the volume a little bit. So yeah, for today, my plan was to, first of all, thanks everybody for last week, for everyone that joined. It was quite a nice experience. It was a lot of fun to learn the first steps in sculpting together with you, and it was a great help. So thanks everybody that was in the chat and helped me out. It made things a lot easier. So yeah, I'm looking forward to today's stream. And yeah, for today I thought we could start with a character. It will probably last more than this stream, so it will take a bit longer, maybe 2 or 3 streams, where I want to take just a moment. I drew a concept the other day, this goblin here. And I would like to create that character as a miniature. So I will, I think I will block out the body today, so the naked goblin, and then move on to the other accessories and clothes in the next streams. And I would like to test out the cloth simulation and the cloth brush, of course, on this character. So I think it's a good test subject to, dive a bit deeper into modeling and sculpting in Blender. So I hope you like that idea, and I'm happy for feedback or suggestions what to change and add to the character. I will probably add some more accessories or change a few things here and there. And then, see where this starting point gets us. Let's see. Question from Missing No Uploader. I have a question. Do you take questions about 3D modeling? Yes, I do. If you have any questions about my workflow or about certain things that I'm currently doing, or anything else, just put them in the comments. And I hope I see them. I can't pay attention all the time to the chat, since I have to concentrate on sculpting as well. But I'm really looking forward to all your questions and suggestions, and just have a nice chat with you. And so will you start with sculpting right away or do a box modeling block out? I think I will start with sculpting right away. I will probably start with the default cube or with the sphere. For example, I started, or I practiced a little bit of sculpting before the stream, after I saw a video of Raphael Grassetti, who uploaded like a torso sculpt not that long ago, I think 8 hours ago or so. And it was a lot of fun, so I tried to replicate that, and as a little warm-up I did this sculpt from a cube, from the default cube. So I really like to start from the most simple shapes, just to better practice what I actually want to do. So Ruthwick, he definitely needs to, but I think he's too fast already in ZBrush, and he doesn't have to, but it would be a lot of fun to see how he would approach sculpting in Raphael in Blender. So yeah, I think so too. So yeah, let's start with a fresh scene. New, general, and let's jump right into the sculpting tab. I will quickly open up the image and put it on my second screen over here, just to have something as a reference. And yeah, like I said, if you have any questions or something to chat about, then write it in the comments. And yeah, it would be nice to see where you all come from. Last time I saw that some came from Japan, some from America and stuff like that. So yeah, it would be nice to see where you all, what kind of group we have here, since it's all so new for me as well. Scotland, India, Serbia, nice. Cool, quite diverse. Scotland, India, Serbia. England, hey Mo, nice to see you back. Australian. That's awesome. It's really cool that nowadays it's possible to connect people from all over the world and join while we sculpt and create characters. So first I will subdivide the cube a little bit just to get a basic topology down. Croatia, USA. Wow, seems like all over the world. Crazy stuff. Thanks everyone for joining. And yeah, let's get started. Since I like the head the most, it's the most interesting part for me, I will start with that one. And just to let you know, after watching Raphael's video, I tried out the clay brush here in Blender, and it's really, really good. I'm not sure how to handle it properly yet, but it feels like it has a lot of potential. So I will do the sculpt today mainly with this brush, so the regular clay brush. There's an issue with voxel remesh where rotated cube remeshes with bad choppy edges. Is that something that happens in Dynamesh as well? It depends on the smoothness level that you set in ZBrush. You can get the chopped up edges, like the pixelated look in ZBrush as well. It's a matter of settings. Hey Fedorov, nice to see you back. Mo, the agenda for today is to sculpt or start with this goblin character here. This is a concept that I drew a few days ago, and I would like to make that design into a miniature. So I want to do all the clothing and body and stuff and accessories, and then combine everything in the end, clean up all the transitions from one object to the other, and then print it out on my printer. So yeah, today we will start with the head and the body and see how far we come. For the next time, I will probably get the PureRef software or references, so I don't have to hide the concept on my other screen, but so you can see it as well during the stream. But for today, I will put it on my second monitor. So let's start with the head. And I could have started with a sphere. Would probably have made things a bit easier, but yeah, a cube is fine as well. We can shape it into somewhat of a head shape as well. So I have to say I tested out the performance of Blender, I think yesterday, where I subdivided the mesh a couple times, and it was good until it reached around 2 million polygons for the model, and then it started to slow down on my computer. I used the multi-res modifier, and I think this limits the sculpting here for me to the primary and secondary sculpting shapes. So I won't go into like skin pores and wrinkles and stuff here in Blender, since the performance wasn't good enough. So my computer was really loud and it got quite warm after a while. So yeah, I will stick to ZBrush for the detailing of this character as well, just to make things a bit smoother workflow wise. So sorry, sometimes when I talk while sculpting I get a bit slow and all over the place with the brush strokes. So this is something that I still have to learn to talk and to sculpt at the same time. Let's see. Trying out different settings on the clay brush here, just to get a feeling of what works best for what I'm trying to get. So Joar96, I don't sculpt all of the skin details by hand, but like wrinkles that flow in certain directions, I like to do that with the damn standard brush in ZBrush, and then sculpting my own alpha maps for the skin details to stamp it on, so I don't have to do everything over and over again, like the repetitive stuff. So where am I going? Yes, this skull. Let's see for the reference. I'm gonna try to be a bit more loose this time, just to get the primary shapes working a bit faster. Draw sharp for the outlines. Just to define the plane changes a bit more precise. So let's carve out the nose, the bone for that one, and bring it into place. Let's see, the nose is quite far up. And the eyebrows, they go down like this. What I can do is to activate the, let's see, where is it? The keys that I press, so you can see what shortcuts I use and stuff. So yeah, now on the bottom left corner you see all the keys that I use. So if it's distracting, then just give me the feedback and I can turn it off again. But I saw in a lot of Blender tutorials that since it's all shortcut based, that it's better to have them on display. Hey Falk David, I hope I pronounced your name wrong. Right. Damn, I always confuse these two. So the behavior of the clay brush is a bit unpredictable. I'm not quite sure. Sometimes it doesn't really add volume, but rather make it more planar. And sometimes it adds quite a lot of volume, or even when I have the add option selected, then it takes away volume. So I think the plane offset does make a little difference. But yeah, still something that I have to get a feeling for. Alright, Falk, I hope this is correct, and not Falk. Falk with A. Overlord, why using Blender for sculpting when you normally use ZBrush? It's mainly because for smaller projects where I don't have to get into too much detail, it's really good to have everything in one software, so you don't need to switch constantly from one software to the other. And I wanted to look for an alternative to Maya, since I will finish my studies soon, and then I have the ability to use that program for free, since Maya is a paid software, or very costly software as well. I wanted to get into Blender anyways, and yeah, I'm really excited about, or looking forward to, the cloth brush, which is something that ZBrush doesn't have. But I think over time I will create a workflow where I incorporate ZBrush and Blender into the creation of a character. So if you want to get into the industry and do high quality sculpting and character work, then I would definitely try to learn ZBrush if you have the chance to. And Blender is just a good addition for the character workflow, at least what I think so far. I'm using a Wacom right now, a Wacom Intuos Pro M, but I also have the Huon tablet, a Huon Canvas, which is kind of a Cintiq alternative, which is also really good, and it's a lot cheaper. So yeah, let's get back into the model. Better of Finn, in your video of creating a ghoul lady, you've printed her quite small. Is it kind of printer's limitation or based on considerations of materials economy? I printed this figure here quite small, since it's aimed at being used in a D&D game or Warhammer or other tabletop figures. So yeah, that's why I wanted to print it that small. And I could have gone a bit bigger on the printer. And when you hollow out the models, then you can save quite a lot of material in the printing process. So yeah, it was aimed at this height from the start. So yeah, this size actually, this is what I would like to achieve with the goblin here. Once it's done, so I can put it on a platform like this, and yeah, maybe when I have enough time and some extra money over, I can buy some paint and get back into miniature painting, which I used to do for many years when I was smaller, when I was younger. But I lost track of that hobby a while ago. Now I think I can come back to it by doing my own miniatures, which is pretty insane. I never thought that that would be possible. But yeah, so that's why I printed it that small. All right. Let's block out the mouth. Hey Manson. Thanks for joining. Let's switch to the clay strips brush. Seems like there's a bit more continuity in when it adds volume and when it removes volume. So it's a bit more predictable. I think I have to get used to the other clay brush as well, but maybe after the stream, so I don't waste any time here. It's not fun to watch me figuring out how to make a decent stroke. So yeah, let's stick with a clay strips brush for now. If the music is too loud or anything, just let me know. Or if it's too quiet, then I can increase the volume as well. Supreme Sculpts, thanks for the input, for the comment. Is there a certain setting that I have to tweak? Since I found the plane offset, but I'm not sure if it's the right one or not. Fuck. Hardness and tip roundness. Let's see. Hardness, that is really soft. Increase it to 1. Seems more to... Let's see the differences. Alright, I think when I increase the plane offset to a maximum of 0.5, then it's a bit more predictable with adding volume and removing volume. So yeah, I put hardness at 0.65 and roundness at 1. Roundness. I don't see roundness here. but I think hardness is a good one for me. I like that better than the soft stroke here. So having sharper transitions is helpful. Alright, maybe I increase the music just a little bit. I just want to have something in the background, so there is no awkward silence and stuff. Since sometimes I get a bit zoned out. Can you say that? While sculpting, so I'm a bit more quiet then. Hardness. Let's see. All right. Let's try it again with these settings on the clay brush. The brush makes really nice transitions, as you can see here. So I was able to add volume and then smooth out the transition in a really controlled way. This is actually a really nice working brush. That has still its little things that I don't quite understand it, but I think it's worth continuing with this one. So trying to get the eyebrows in. I think if the brush is too big, then it evens out the surface a lot. So it acts more like a planar brush. So yeah, I think for certain areas it's really helpful. For others it actually destroys the forms that you've built. Let's see. It's probably a user problem. It's not my fault. Alright, I get lost in the details already. So let's concentrate a bit more on the overall shapes. I think in the side view the eye socket can be pushed back a little bit more, just like that. This is something that I did wrong quite often in the beginning, and I still do, that the eye socket is too flat from the top view here and from the side view. So it's actually at quite a large angle, and it makes the head seem way more appealing on the 3/4 view. So let's make the character look a bit more mean by pushing the jaw up a little bit, like an old grandpa. And this will help with a goblin like attitude. Alright, let's pronounce the forehead a bit stronger so we can still soften it later on if we like to. But yeah, that we have defined the plane changes properly. Let's see. The highest point of the head is roughly here, so a bit further back than the middle. And then it goes down again and forms the base of the skull. So yeah, I think that is sufficient as a blocking. And let's sculpt the nose. This one will be quite large. Normally I would add a sphere in ZBrush with the insert mesh brush, but since I don't see something like that here yet, I just sculpt out the nose manually and then adjust the width and the placement of the nostrils, as well as the transition to the mouth. So the same here with the nostrils and the mouth as with the side of the eye sockets. The mouth is not starting like at the same plane here as the nostrils. Let me quickly get out the annotation tool. So it's not here, I hope you can see it, but the mouth would rather start something like here. So there's a small gap between the let's see, the nostrils and the starting of the mouth. So let me push that a bit further out. All right. I think I will have to switch from the clay strips brush to the normal clay brush from time to time, just to get the result that I want. So let's give the nose a little bit more thickness. Let's see. I think I like the side view here already. I think I will start with blocking out the with the body next. So we get the whole character in before we lose ourselves into the details. So we have a good overview of the whole project. So I think I will just use the grab brush to pull out geometry and then remesh it. So remesh, and then I use the masking feature to pull out the torso. And inflate it to get a bit more That's an interesting result. Let's see how it looks when we remesh it. It looks good. Alright, I'll do a very it looks like a pumpkin. Why not insert spheres in object mode and merge them? It could be another option, but I think for me it's currently it's a bit quicker. I don't know. I'm still trying out eggplant goblin. Yeah, maybe we could make a special collectible print of that one. Yeah. Let me duplicate that one. It looks funny. So let's continue on that. Dark Souls boss, yeah. Yeah, I will try to see how quick I can pull out arms and legs with this workflow here, because I like to do that in ZBrush as well. Just masking and pushing and pulling this stuff out. So yeah, just seeing how it compares to ZBrush. Overlord the 7th. Are you in the game industry? I did an internship 6 years ago in a games company where I worked as a character artist. And since then I worked in the commercial section, so commercial industry. I did animated short films. I worked on a feature film as well as a character modeler. Most of this stuff I worked as a character model in, so commercials, games. I worked in printing, feature film, product visualization, and I think some other stuff as well. But yeah, mainly in animation. So let's push the chest a bit further back, just to give it a more hunched over look. Yeah, Ruthwick, maybe ZBrush cowboy. Sometimes at certain jobs I used more Maya or Softimage, but ZBrush is my main software. It's just way more fun to do stuff in ZBrush than more technical stuff for me. So all right. I feel that I want to dive into blocking out the muscles and stuff, but I think I should stick with the basic proportions for now. So let's give him some arms. Alright, let's try out the posing brush. Tried it out a few times, but it's still a bit hard to control for me. So let's see. It starts to get really slow. I think I will leave that for now. I don't want my computer to run hot and then yeah, disturb the stream or anything like that. So let's try to do that with the move brush. Will you be sculpting in pose? Yes, I will first block out the whole body though, so I don't have to redo the anatomy twice, and I have the proportions figured out for both sides. So yeah, just save some time. There are some people that start right in the pose and do everything asymmetrical, but that is yeah, that's a lot of work. But a really good exercise. So I did that once as well. And yeah, you appreciate the symmetry tool after that. Alright, this is what I wanted. So let's give him some legs. Alright, move tools here. Let's see. A bit further apart just to have a better view on the anatomy. It makes it a bit easier for us to sculpt. Missing no uploader. Is ZBrush mandatory for professional 3D work, or can Blender also do? I think Blender can... I mean, if you can show final models, final sculpts of characters or other stuff, it doesn't really matter which software you used. So you could do a crazy model in Google SketchUp and it will still get you a job. So there are certain areas, for example, in rigging or scripting, where it's beneficial to do that in a certain software. For example, character rigging in Maya. The transition to another software is a bit harder, but modeling is really easy to do in another software. So if you know how to model, if you know how to if you know your anatomy and character sculpting and stuff like that, then you can do it in any software that you want. Because yeah, once you get hired, you will learn the softwares that they use anyways really quickly, and what they can't teach you very quickly is all the fundamentals like anatomy and stuff. So yeah, don't worry about the software too much if you want to get a job in the first place. But after that, yeah, it makes sense to know the basics of the tools that the company uses that you want to apply for, but not for the learning phase. Still trying to figure out all the shortcuts. So bear with me when I stop for a few moments from time to time just to wrap my head around all the different options. Since in ZBrush I didn't use that many shortcuts, which will probably make me a bit faster in the future. So I want to learn it the Blender way. I could have switched all the shortcuts to be similar to Maya, but I think this would have defeated the purpose of learning a new software. So let's see. So yeah, just trying to block out the legs right now. Shift Control, and you can also draw a lesser mark. Shift Control. Thanks a lot, Predrag. This will make things a lot faster. And if you want to delete part of a mesh, you can find Slice Mask option in Mask menu. Hey Mita, thanks for the subscription. Let's see, mask, close mask, mask extract, mask slice. Let's see. Alright, that is similar to some tools in Dirty Mask. What is a dirty mask? Sounds naughty. Alright, clear mask. We have the basic limbs blocked out, so let's work a bit on the proportions. Let's try it out. Okay, the head is quite big in my concept, and I would like to keep the proportions here. So I think it's like 4 heads tall, and this looks more like 5. So let's scale down the body. Scale. This looks better. Let's see. I think this is cool. Yeah, it gives it more like a childish proportions or childlike proportions. So Falk. All right, let's do that. In object mode, yeah, let's import the reference image into the scene. I think it makes the most sense just to compare it more often. So object mode, add image reference, and desktop drawings. Which one is it? Let's see. It's 08. This one. So let's see. This is looking good. Let's see if it's visible in the sculpting menu. Yeah, it is. Perfect. thanks for this suggestion. Let's see if I can... All right. Yeah, I think the placement is all right. Let's see if I can... Oh, not bad. Is there something, an option called backface culling? This is how it's called in Maya. So I don't see the backside, but look through it. So one-sided shading. Since I only want to have the reference here when I'm looking from this view here. Maybe in the geometry tab. Let's see, visibility, viewport display. The green triangle icon. Ah, let's see. Top right, under options. Let's wait. This one. Top right, checkered. Let's see here, display. Ah, no. Oh, sorry guys. Depth, front. Ah, now I have it. So it's here. Yeah. Nico, what's up, bro? Not much. Sculpting this goblin here. What's up with you? How are you doing? Let's get back here. Perfect. Now it works. Thanks for the patience. S-Planes add-on. Yeah, I think I will dive into the whole add-on thing later. I heard that there are a lot of tools already in Blender that you just have to activate. So yeah, it's quite a rabbit hole. So I will stick with the sculpting for now. But I saw some really good add-ons that I will check out soon. So let's try to give that character some volume. Clay brush. Stroke. Advanced. I don't want to influence the faces on the other side of the mesh, so this is what that option is for. So, all right, let's define the body a bit. So the rib cage here. The neck. So what I want to look for in the beginning is to establish the basic structure, so that there is a believable skeleton underneath it. And this is the most important thing, that the skeleton comes through a little bit, at least from the proportions, and then the muscles on top. So if I don't get the proper skeleton in place first, then the muscles will look disconnected and wobbly. Some neck muscles, just working out the transition. From one body part to the next, and especially the big parts, the important things like the collarbone line, the neck muscles, the big one here, this one, and then the big muscle groups on the back. Still have to learn the back, since it's a really complicated part, but the basic muscles are not that many, so let's see. Let's give him a bit of volume in the hip area. And push in the stomach a little bit to give him a more starved kind of look. What I'm doing right now is, which is really important for the torso, is to add volume for the rib cage. So I don't want to add the breast muscles and the back muscles onto an undefined shape, since it looks wobbly really quickly. Coralista. I'm still testing these medcaps. I think the medcap here is working really good for now. I normally use the Skin 2 material. It's a default material in ZBrush, but I use the medcap gray a lot when I started, and I actually like this one here quite a bit. It's similar to the basic material in ZBrush, I think. So, alright. The ribcage is a bit too small. It's extended. Since he has such a hunched back, I think most of it will be defined by muscles and maybe the shoulder blades as well, but not so much by the ribcage. Let's see. Let's block in the big muscle shapes just to get something going here with the character. some stomach muscles. I think for that work the clay brush is good to get organic transitions, but it's not too sharp. Yeah, Coralista, if you have a link to that matcap, put it in the comments so people can check it out. Or let me know if it's possible to share links. Sometimes it's blocked, I think. If it's blocked, it's not on purpose. All right. The video of Rafael Grassetti really motivated me. It was the video that I saw before the stream. He was so fast. It took him like 10 minutes to block out a really well-defined human torso in real time. So if you're interested in that, definitely check him out on YouTube. I think it's Raf Grassetti. I think this is how he's written, spelled. Yeah. I will probably study that video many times. Let's give him the triceps here. And I think the inflate brush is better for the purpose. Have you tried the more reddish matte cap? Yes, I tried that in ZBrush a couple of times, and it's especially helpful when you want to get really clean surfaces, because the default matte cap, the red one, really shows any how do you say, surface details. Like, it really exaggerates the angles, so you see everything, which makes it a really handy matte cap for cleaning up your model. But other than that, I don't like the look of it too much. It's too intense on my eyes, I think. So I most of the time, yeah, use the gray one or the skin-like matte cap. So all right. Would you be interested in, since I saw the sculpting video of Ref, I'm thinking about doing like a study stream as well, in addition to the Sunday stream here, where you can do anatomy studies, and it wouldn't be so much of a character creation stream, but more of studying and learning together. So I don't know, would you be interested in that, or what are the projects that you would like to see here on the stream? Let's see. Mo, I'd be 100% interested in that. That's cool. Yeah, I think that's the cool thing about streams, that yeah, we can work on the things that we like and not be limited to certain expectations. So yeah, seems like this one is happening soon. I will probably use ZBrush for that, since I don't want to focus on the technical side of sculpting, but rather on the artistic side. So it will make it easier for me to learn anatomy, and yeah, sounds really cool. Thanks for the support, and seems like you're excited about that option as well. So yeah, I'll probably do that next week. Then I'm not sure when I will have the time for that. Pointy butt cheeks. But yeah, I will probably start with, let's see. Doesn't make sense to talk about that yet. Stevens, late jump in, what did I miss? We started with blocking out that goblin character here. It's a drawing that I did a couple of days ago, and I would like to make it into a miniature. So this is what we're doing. Do you do any drawing? Yes, I actually did the drawing in the background. And I'm planning to upgrade my recording setup soon. I'm not sure when exactly, but I would like to have a camera rig where I can have something pointing down, so I can record drawings or even do drawing streams. So we could potentially take a character from the beginning, from a blank page over to a concept, and then do a sculpt, and in the end I could print it, and then we could have the whole process from start to finish, which I would really like to do. Have you ever sculpted plants? I think I did. It was more based on box modeling. I did some environment modeling for an animated project, for a short film, and I did sculpted mushrooms and tree barks and stuff like that. But the leaves, I would normally do it in Maya or in similar software, since we would use textures on that and not do them manually. But I did sculpt plants, yeah. I mean, it always makes sense when you have important hero objects in your film, even if it's a tree. If it's important for the composition and the look of the frame, then it's common that it's made manually. Alright, let's give the legs some volume. Some thick legs. What I'm doing right now is just to add the volume here, so I have some material to carve into. So yeah, if it's too thin, then sometimes it's a bit hard to define muscles and stuff. So let's see, the arm here as well. Alright, and now I can use the draw sharp brush just to get some basic anatomy going. And I'm just making outlines right now, so I can refine them later. Because only drawing these hard shapes here don't result in proper forms, but it's a good reference for me where to add volume and where to remove it. So yeah, he's pretty muscular right now, but I will push that back a little bit the further we go. And he's a warrior, so he's probably pretty trained. Or ripped, depending on how much food he gets. So alright, let's define the arms a little bit more. So something like that. Let's see how the hands will be oriented. Yeah, let's hope not that it gets demonetized, but yeah, YouTube's algorithm is a bit strange, I think. I heard that they don't even have the algorithm under control anymore, since yeah, it's such a huge software or data bank or whatever it is that is like filled with information that no single person can oversee. So yeah, I'm not sure what will come out of it, but I heard a lot of complaints from creators that they get flagged for no reason or banned or whatever. So yeah, I hope they figure out a way to control the algorithms so it hits the right people and not innocent art YouTubers that have no money and are dependent on the streams. And I think it's sad for the community of certain channels. For example, when the comments get blocked, this is something that I really don't like. I think a video where no comments are allowed, I don't know, makes it a bit suspicious. So let's bring out the bones here a bit. Yeah, they are, unfortunately. But it's good that the platform is based on communities, like large communities that are yeah, very responsive when it comes to things that are broken. So it's just a matter of the, yeah, if YouTube wants to do that or not, I think. So, let's get some definition on the back side. Let's see. I will draw it again first and then define it afterwards. Let's see. Trapezius. This is where I still have to study like realistic or yeah, from photographs or live. Like the backside is really complex. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I did several écorché studies already, but in the past month or a year, I mainly focused on my diploma project, so I got a bit rusty with anatomy. And this is where the study stream would come in really handy, so I'm really looking forward to that one. Don't forget to save. Thanks a lot, Joa. Joao. Save as. Not that it gets lost along the way. This is one of the most frustrating things. Yeah, putting a lot of time into something and then it crashes and you forgot to activate the autosave function. In business, no, it's not for game. I'm doing this character for being printed as a miniature, something like that. This is the ghoul that I did for one of my more recent videos, and yeah, I want to build a collection of miniatures that I can either play with or paint, which I would really like to do, to paint it, because this is something that I did in my childhood. And yeah, so this is the main goal with this character, but I could take that model and do a retopology from it and put it into a game engine. So the first steps are actually quite similar, either if you want to create a game, a print, or just a render, or yeah, whatever, where you need a model for. And then only the later steps go in different directions. So yeah, this would basically be the same workflow if I wanted to do that character for a game. Fedorov, what do I think about 3D pens? Yeah, I think it's a really interesting kind of tool. but I think it's not comparable to clay or anything like that. So yeah, it's a different medium, I would say. But I saw a lot of great models made with pens as well, and I saw the Jazza video about the 3D pen, which was a lot of fun. But I haven't tried it out yet. I think it's something more for physical stuff, like decoration or something like that. I think for figurative work, for characters or anything like that, it's too unprecise and too fiddly. So yeah, but it's a really interesting tool. When it first came out, I was really excited about that, but then I saw the first videos, and it kind of put me off a little bit. So yeah, I'm not sure if I will ever get my hands on it, but yeah, for some people it works out really well. Stevens Robert, Blender autosave like every minute by default, no worries. All right, I don't know if there's preferences on that. Let me see. All right, autosave is on. That makes things way less stressful, especially when it crashes. Because Maya, when we switch from workstation to workstation, sometimes it's not activated, the autosave function. And then I used to work on projects on a new PC at a studio, and then it would crash on me, and I would lose hours of work. So I'm glad that Blender does it by default. This is a really buffed goblin. Let's see if we can make him a bit skinnier. Hey Charlie. Sorry, a good friend of mine and my brother are in the stream as well. So, hey Leute, ich hoffe ihr genießt das Bier. Ja, trinkt einen für mich mit. Cool, dass ihr vorbeischaut. Ruthwick, will you make the clothing via sculpting as well? Probably. Especially the pants and the shirt, I think, are a good practice for me to try the cloth brush. So I used it on a plane already, just to test it out a little bit. But I think I have to see how it works on an actual project. Because sometimes I use tools or brushes just as a test, and I'm really excited about the potentials and stuff. And then I test it out on a project, and it's not really practical. So, but this is a really fun brush. I'm really looking forward to see if it holds up. So. All right. I'm trying to define the anatomy a little bit more. Let's see. Harein, thanks for the subscription, man. Hope you're doing great. Let's see, I think the anatomy is not quite spot on the legs, but since most of it will be covered anyways, I think we're good to go on that one. I'll just change the proportions a little bit. Let's see. I do have a reference figure here from 3D Total. I don't look at it that often, and since it's a female reference figure, yeah, it's a bit harder to see the plane changes on it. But especially for the muscle placement and the shapes of the muscles, or the outlines of the muscles, it's quite handy. But yeah, I should get a male one as well, or maybe do one myself, so I can print it multiple times from different poses, so that could come in handy. In business, when you do retopology for game engine, do you capture every detail or you define them with maps? When I do the retopology, I mainly do it to maintain the volume and make sure that the character can deform properly. So it's not always about capturing the detail, because that you can do with the normal maps, and I think nowadays even with tessellation and stuff. But yeah, the most important thing is that the deformations look good. So if you have big volumes that you want to preserve, for example the shoulders, then you would have to have edge loops that run in a certain way to make sure that you capture the volume and have proper volume preservation. So yeah, and sometimes, for example, if you have like sharp wrinkles in the face, for example in your mouth when you make a smile like this, and you have this crease here, then you would want to have an edge loop following that crease, since when you want to make the expression, then yeah, the topology holds up the details and the volumes in a proper way. Stevens Robert, regarding clothes, the method of guerrilla games on Horizon is very cool. Horizon is a great game. I will note it down. The graphics are awesome and I really like the models on it. So let me see. I guess they have a talk on ZBrush Summit. Horizon Guerrilla Games. Thanks for the tip. We'll check it out. It's crazy that everyone can, yeah, just watch the best workflows from the big studios and see if they can learn something from that. So it's a great time to learn stuff. Everything is accessible on YouTube. It's so crazy. So let's put in the serratus anterior and some ribs. It looks good. this is not holding up the shape well, so yeah. The armpit is always a tricky area for me. So I try to get as close as I can and then close the gap with the inflate brush. And that looks alright. Alright, cool. It's starting to take shape. The butt is still looking really strange, but I think it's fine for now. Here's the hip bone that I just protruded a little bit outwards. Let's see. This looks way better. Cool. Yeah, Fedorov. That's correct. But we try to... Yeah, I think everyone has a certain idea of a goblin butt. Yeah, I hope I satisfy some of the ideas that people had about them. Alright, I think this is looking good so far. Next I will add the feet, just to add the missing things, and then I will go on to the head to define that one a bit further. So let's pull out some feet. Let's remesh again and just add some volume. Opa. There we go. Sometimes the navigation is still a bit tricky for me, especially compared to ZBrush, since it's quite different. Overlord, how long does it take you to do a sculpt? It really depends. Like if I only do the head, for example, a few hours. From if it's a study, half an hour or an hour, and if it's a proper sculpt, it can... Big note. Thanks for subscribing. Sometimes in a production when you have like these really realistic characters that are used for an cinematic trailer, for example, these can take up to a month, I think. So a full work week, 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. sometimes even longer. But then there are characters that take a day. It really depends on the scope. So, no. And for practice, I wouldn't put too much time into a model. So if you, especially if you have the feeling that you're stuck, then I would recommend to just move on to the next one. Because in the beginning you learn so much from the initial steps that it makes more sense to start a fresh one than to try to erase all the mistakes that you did along the way. Hope it makes sense. Right, here's the same thing. Try to establish the skeleton with the ankles. And then I have something as a base. Drawer, I think it actually takes a lot of time to do the sculpting of the character, especially hitting the lightness or the mood that you want, and revisions take a lot of time, that you're correct in that. And in addition to that, all the accessories. So sometimes characters are split into like 4 different parts or more parts. So like 4 artists work on the same character, sometimes even more. Someone is doing the head, the other one is doing clothes, someone is doing the hands only. It really depends on how realistic that character is and how many accessories and stuff they have on them. So yeah, I think it's not uncommon that they take such a long time, especially in AAA games or cinematics, for that sake. I mean, the orcs in the World of Warcraft cinematics, they are so detailed and such great models and really complex with all the physics and like all the accessories that are properly simulated. And I bet they take months and months of work to really get them right. Samuel, what did you use to learn muscles and human form? I basically looked up Google images of the skeleton and started from there. I mean, I did the drawing exercises like the Loomis method for the head and some basic proportions with the 8-head proportion human. But then when I got more serious about anatomy, I started from the skeleton up. So yeah, for example, certain bumps on the surface of the skin you can only understand if you know that there's a bone underneath it and not a muscle. And since it's rigid, you don't have to learn how the skeleton behaves in different poses, which made it a lot easier than muscles that look different in different poses. So yeah, if you're serious about anatomy and want to learn that, I would recommend starting from the skeleton. I always say start with the skull, because it's first I think the most interesting part of the human body, and the most complex one at the same time. So when you get a good feeling on sculpting the skull, then you will have a proper foundation to learn the rest as well, because it's a lot about eye-hand coordination and seeing the forms and plane changes. And when you learn that on the skull, you can apply the same fundamentals to other parts of the body. In business, do we have any video on retopology? Not yet. I'm not quite sure. I think I did a video once, but it was more on the side, so I will probably do another video on retopology in the future. And this is where I'm interested in Blender as well. Like I said, I want to look for an alternative to Maya, where I would normally do that. Because when I do freelance work, I don't have to pay for a subscription in Maya. So I would like to get a workflow down in Blender. So yeah, this is something that I would like to do in the future. Fedorov, yes, I will probably once we're done with the goblin and have all the accessories and stuff, I will probably do the post-processing with the supports for the printing on stream as well, and then I will bring it to a level where I just put it on the printer and I will show the model on the next stream. So this is something that I would really like to establish, to maybe at some point finish a character from start to, from the beginning to the final character in one stream, maybe for smaller projects, and then bring the finished printed product or model or figure to the next stream to show you. So yeah, we can work together on these characters and share the process. So this is what I would like to do. So yeah, next stream, or like I said, once we're done with it, I will print it and bring it to the next stream. Hurt me. Oh, what a sad name. I hope no one's hurting you. I use the default navigation shortcuts and stuff from Blender. I think I switched the inverse zoom, whatever it's called, because it was a bit strange for me. And I think I changed the zoom to control middle mouse. I'm not sure where it is, but there was one navigation where I had to hold the shift button to navigate. I'm not sure if it's zoom or something else, but this felt uncomfortable for me, so I switched it. And yeah, so I have rotating with middle mouse button, zoom with control and middle mouse button, and panning with alt and middle mouse button. So yeah. Let's see, medcap material. What the link for Twitch? Let me just quickly, twitch.tv/Finn. This is my Twitch channel, if you're interested in that. Yeah, I do see the medcaps here. Shillin, thanks for the follow. Let's see, medcap studio. Let's try a different one just for fun. Okay, this is a bit hard to read the forms, I think, or looks good. Crayon is now following. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Overlord, thanks for the subscription. Seems like you enjoy the stream. Glad to see that. All right. Yeah, Stevens, that's something that I experienced as well. Like in the beginning, the navigation of ZBrush is like really strange, but they nailed down the navigation for tablets. And this was their aim as well, so they stated that in some of their developer talks, that yeah, this is the it doesn't make sense to use ZBrush with a mouse, so why optimize for that when everybody is using it with the tablet anyways? So yeah, made sense to do that, and it's really intuitive once you learn it. All right, let's see. We can add some bumps here on his back, to give him a more stuffed look. It's not the right number of ribs, but I think it's sufficient for the scale that we're aiming at. Top left window. Let's see. Thanks a lot. This feels more like ZBrush now. ZBrush is always full screen as well. Thanks, Overlord. Speed retopo, alright. I will write it down. Because I'm on the I'm searching for a good plugin to have some nice retopology tools, so I will check that out. Speed retopo. Thanks a lot for the tip. All right. Patrick, thanks for the subscription. So, I think I said that we focus on the pace next, so let's do that. Cavity. Yeah, I think for certain renders it's a good option, but it how do you say it? It falsifies the interpretation of the forms. So falsify, couldn't find a better word, but yeah, it makes it harder to judge forms. So I will leave it disabled. Fedorov, good question. My plan for this character is to serve as a base mesh for varieties or variations of that goblin. So I will probably do some that are have a bare chest, or some that have really thick cloth on. So I will use it as a base mesh to put more accessories on it to get like a small goblin troop or a group of goblins. And don't have to redo the anatomy over and over again. So this is why I put so much emphasis on the proportions right now. So I have a good starting point for other similar goblins. All right. Yeah, the connection to the shoulder is still a tricky one, but that should be sufficient here. All right, let's rotate the feet a little bit. I think the hands, I will focus on the hands in the next stream, since they're a bit more tedious as well. So let's add some eyes to make it a bit more exciting. Add mesh, UV sphere, and then give him small eyes. I think the placement is good, just the volume is not, or the head is intersecting in a weird way. This is something that I will fix next. So let's mirror him on the other side. I picked the goblin as the mirror plane, or and let's apply that and give him one subdivision more. All right. Falk, is the reference an image that you drew yourself? Yes, this is a drawing that I did a couple days ago, and I played with the pose a little bit, and yeah, I was quite satisfied with it. So I thought, why not use it as a concept for this character here, and for my next mini to create. Dogs go D. Thanks a lot. All right. Thanks, Christoph, for the tip. Shan, are you going to post this live stream too? Yes, I will. It should be up right after the stream ends, so you can watch it later. I'm thinking about opening Patreon page, just because I have to make plans on what to do after my studies ends and how to keep doing all of this and not being pushed into a job that takes up all my time. So I think Patreon is a good option for me. And then I will probably do some stuff just for Patreon, but I want to keep things as widely accessible as possible, so I don't want to get into too much paywalls. But I have to find some ways to keep doing that in a sustainable way. So yeah, but now I'm doing this for everybody, since this is the reason why I got started as well with videos like this. So it's important for me to share as much as I can with as many people as I can. So the stream will be up after that. Alright, I said we sculpt more on the face and then I jumped back to the body. Sorry for that. Let's increase the let's see. I think when the resolution gets too thin, then it gets hard to control it with the Shift R. So, because I can't see anything. Let's see. Yeah, that should be fine. Camille Radomski, are you recording this? I mean, I know streams are saved automatically, but I'm a big sucker for time lapses. Yes, this is what I would like to do as well. To do a time lapse video of the whole process once we're done with the whole character. Because I like to see time lapse videos as well. They're the best. Remesh. Alright, let's put it in here manually. Remesh. Let's see. This should be, I think, the limit for me. Resolution-wise, I'm not sure how. Yeah, it's starting to lag a bit behind. So I will probably go a little bit higher in the voxel size. Because I have like 1.5 million faces and now I only have 740,000 faces, which makes it hopefully a bit more responsive. Let's cover the eye and then carve it out with the draw sharp. Since in the reference he has his eyes wide open, I will try to do that here as well. Let's see. Yeah, I think I will stay in the remesh model for now and for the next stream I will just quickly put it into ZBrush, do a quick zero mesh over it, and then yeah, bring it back here to define the details. I think it could be done in Blender as well, but I think this is the most comfortable way for me. Let's see, this one looks creepy so far. But I think we're going in the right direction. Let's compare it to the reference. Right, what's missing right now is the fatty part over besides the nostrils. So let's add that. Yeah, there we go. And let's pull down the eyes further down so we can add the volume here. This one. This curve really gives characters a mean look, so, and it's a fun one to define. I think the head is a bit too wide here, and the cheekbone could be a little bit further out. So I think we're getting closer to the attitude of the character. The nose can be a bit larger. And the nostrils a bit thicker as well. So is everyone in the chat working on a project as well right now? Like, sometimes I like to put a live stream or a recent stream on when I do my own work. So I would be interested if someone's doing that right now as well. Yeah, this fold here is making a big difference. Cool. Falk, what is your project that you're working on right now? Making a series of different newspaper models for all the common sizes, open and closed. Ah, seems like you're working on an environment, like a room or something with all the newspapers in it? Or is it worked for a library? Oh, I see. Yeah, it makes sense to build that up. Especially when you do objects over and over again and then you realize, man, I could have used it from another project. It's a good idea. Ah, fuck. Let's see. Wish you all the best with your thesis. Seems like we're in a similar position, getting close to our degree. It will be a great feeling once you're done. I'm looking forward to that as well. So, all the best. So let's flesh out his mouth. I think that looks not too bad. Stevens, as we talk, I'm working on props for a game. That's cool. Yeah, Retopo time is like the meditative part of a model creation. Christoph, yeah, thanks for stopping by. I hope you find it interesting. It's a slow process, so it's a bit slower paced than like a video game live stream. But yeah, I hope you get something out of the stream. Michael, thanks. Glad you enjoy it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun for me as well. It's a huge motivation to share that with you. And yeah, if I wouldn't have had the YouTube channel, I think I would have been a bit more lazy. But yeah, thanks to all your comments. They really mean a lot. So yeah, it's a give and take. So glad that I can give something to you. Donut guy, donuts. Do you sculpt more in ZBrush or Blender? I do sculpt more in ZBrush. I started sculpting in Blender last week on Sunday during a stream. So during my first stream, actually. So it's up on YouTube. You can see it on my channel. And this is where Yeah, I think I did a 20-minute sculpt before that just to get a basic understanding of the tools. But then I did my first proper sculpt during the live stream last week. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out on my channel. Michael, cool. Seems like we're in the same position. Yeah, a lot of people switch to Blender currently, so I think it's a great time to do that as well, and then learn together and give feedback to Pablo, and make this software better and better. Thanks, Donut Guy. All right, I think we can move on to the ears. And let's jump into layout. Add a plane. Let's see, here is it. Rotate it on the y-axis and then on the z-axis a little bit. Position it here, scale it down with S. And sorry, I think I should mute my phone so it's not distracting. Alright, so we get the plane in place. And let's see. Let's put a subdivision modifier on it. Simple. And increase the subdivision level. Still not enough. Increase it 2 more times. And apply. 1 more time. Just to get a bit of resolution to draw the ear on. So jump back into sculpting. And let's get going with the ear. I don't need symmetry on this one, so I can sculpt it out like this. Alright, I smoothed it out to just even out the topology, and now I can define the outlines of the ear. So I first start with a line that goes into the ear, and then forms the top silhouette of the ear. And then I do the small flap that covers the ear canal, and that makes a small U-turn for the earlobe. So get that shape going on here. And then for the earlobe there's a small corner here from which this arc here comes out. So this arc goes into the corner of the earlobe here, and from the bottom of the earlobe, from the fleshy part, there goes the outline of the ear. So the inner circle, this arc here, and this arc here, they're a bit disconnected, but they merge into the earlobe here. So, since it's a fantasy character, it has pointy ears, of course, so I do that. Falk, yeah, that's right. I think this is the great thing about the software. There are so many people involved, and it's basically a tool from artists for artists, from fans to fans. So this is something that no other company can get, I think. Except they are really, really well with the support and community. But yeah, nothing beats free software that can grow over time and fulfills all the dreams of the people. So Maya will have a hard time in the future, I think. But they're not relying on that income anyways. So Autodesk is... most of Autodesk's money comes from the CAD programs. So I think there are only 20 developers, or 10, I'm not sure, but not more than 20 developers on Maya, which is kind of crazy. At least what I heard. So yeah, it will be hard for them to keep up. And another thing which makes it hard for Maya to make big changes is that all the big companies have already infrastructures in place that rely on certain architectures of the software, and they build up the infrastructure for their studios over, I don't know, the last 20 or 30 years using Maya. So yeah, it would be a real pain in the butt for them to make these big changes when Maya suddenly throws away the core tools or structures. So all their pipeline tools and scripts and automated things wouldn't work anymore. So yeah, this makes it a bit difficult, I think, for Maya to make big changes. So they will probably slowly disappear. As harsh as it sounds. All right. I think I'm satisfied with the raw facets. Let's see. In control. All right. So I use the facets brush right now to draw it. To cut out the ear. Let's see. Overload, what is the sculpt for? The sculpt is for making a new miniature. I did a miniature for one of my recent videos, this one. It's a bit, hard to see on stream, but if you're interested in that, I have a video on my channel. And yeah, I want to create a new miniature, and since I want to make some variations of this goblin, I sculpted the body a bit more fleshed out, so I can give him different kinds of clothes and can reuse the model in a more efficient way. So this is why I'm doing the naked body first. So let's see if I can... Thanks, Ruthwick. Do you sell them, Overload? I have the ghoul I have on my Gumroad account. There's a link in the description of the video. And this is something that I'm planning to do for my Patreon page, so that you get all the models and stuff at the end of the month. And yeah, so already supported, so you don't have to do anything with that anymore, but just put it on your printer and then enjoy the mini. Ruthwick, do you figure out a quick way to do the ears? Sorry if you already covered it, was away for a bit. No, I haven't yet, but I heard that there's here a mask extract, and now I only have to figure out how to isolate that that island here. So let's see. So let's smooth out the border here. Does anyone in the chat know how to make a mask out of the face mask? That would be really nice. Control Shift H. Shift H. Ah, I see. Perfect. And now I can mask that. This and then, all right. So we got that going. So H for isolating the face set. Then I hold down Control and Shift for the lasso tool, mask it, hit H again outside of the model, go to mask, mask extract, threshold 4, smooth iterations. Let's see what it does. Alright, that looks not too bad. And now I hit... Let's see. Alright, this seems to be a bit broken. I used the mask extract and then hit Control Z, which destroyed it, I think. Mask the ear. Alright, extract is... I'm not sure if it's the thing that I want. In ZBrush normally it would create a new mesh, and I could set up the thickness to be inverted. But I think this just made the somehow broke the mesh. Let's see. So it separated the mesh. Yeah. So I can just use that. I don't know, this was more of a mistake than a conscious decision here, but it worked, so let's stick with it. Solidify, and let's give it a bit of thickness to the back. Alright, Predrag, thanks for the tip. I think I will use it next time. There are so many different ways to get to the same destination, so probably I will do it differently anytime I do it again. So, alright, don't forget to apply. Alright, the mask extract creates a new mesh. Yeah, this is what I found as well, which is a good thing in my opinion. It works similar to the extract function in ZBrush, which I really like, which is really powerful to if you want to add accessories and stuff. So let's dive back into sculpting. Alright, this is broken. I think I have to all transforms. Let's see. There was a way of fixing the normals. So shade smooth, shade flat. Alt H. No, Alt H just made the pumpkin goblin visible again. So edit mode and Shift N. Let's see, edit mode. Yeah. Shift N. This looks really, really strange. Shift N, it's not doing anything. Ah, I see. Something was hidden. So select all and then so A and then Alt H. Whew. Seems like it worked out in the end. Clear mask. And let's see, draw face mask. I just removed the face mask on this one. And let's remesh it. Yeah, it's still a learning curve for me, but for a program that I used once before or twice, it's still pretty impressive. It's a really, really great tool. I wish I had that when I started out. Started out with Google SketchUp, actually, and then switched to 3ds Max for a while, since it was the first program that I got a not so legal version of. So I started with that, and soon after that I switched to Maya. I used Mudbox as well, but none of them were as powerful back then as Blender is now. So yeah, it's really awesome that it's available. Kit, thanks. Yeah, it's a weird bug, and sometimes this is what puts people off to continue learning, because they can't figure out what's wrong. Is it them or the software? But the pace with which Blender is, how do you say it, advancing right now is crazy. I think next year it will be different software again. I hope they stick with the basics, so you don't have to relearn everything. I heard that a lot of people had to relearn Blender because it changed so much. But features that they add, they are really, really great. Good competition for the other software companies. Right. Let's put it onto the head and incorporate it. There. Let's save, just for fun. And give it a bit more volume. Inflate. What I always look for is to have the main body of the ear on the line with the bottom of the nose and the eyebrows. So a normal ear that wasn't that pointy would fit right between these two lines. And this is a good guide to, yeah, have the placement correct. So I'm just trying to figure out a nice, appealing silhouette flow. And I see that there's an arc in the ear in the reference, so I will follow that in the sculpt as well. All right. It's a bit too thin right now. And the earlobe is way too small. So let's extend that a little bit. Alright. I think for the ears I won't go into too much detail. It's not necessary for a sculpt this size. So I'll just smooth out the transition here a little bit. And I think this looks good enough to be mirrored on the other side. And still not quite satisfied. this looks better. It's a bit too shallow right now. But I think I will leave it like that. Just to continue with the rest of the body. So let's go into layout and hit the mirror function. This is looking good. And apply. Now I will join these two meshes and hit the remesh modifier. I think the adaptive size, we had it at 0.05, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it looks good. So let's apply that. And this looks... Mitch, thanks for the subscription. Let's reduce the voxel size a little bit, just to give it a bit more detail. A bit more polygons to play with. And let's go back into sculpting. Now it starts to have performance issues at 1 million faces. That's actually not that many faces. So ZBrush is definitely better than that. I should probably apply it first. Joa, does ZBrush use remesher to join separate parts or does it use Boolean operations? I think they have multiple ways. With certain functions you only create new geometry at the intersections. Then you have Dynamesh, which fuses things together. You can bridge stuff. You can cut things out with booleans. They have a really strong boolean system. I think it came in ZBrush like 2 years ago. And yeah, so they have a lot of different functions to combine and merge objects. Creator, from which country are you? I'm from Germany. Yeah. Currently a bit all over the place here. So I come from the middle of Germany, and now I'm living in the south because of my studies. Yeah, I used the modifier, what was it? The remesh modifier manually, because I wanted to fuse the two objects together, and I heard that it doesn't work when you press Control R, so that's why I did it. Michael, what are you studying? I'm studying animation at the Film Academy in Baden-Württemberg. That's what it's called. It's the Animation Institute. And I'm currently in the middle of my diploma project. So yeah, I'm doing an animated short film, actually a trailer for a series. And yeah. That sucks right now because I forgot to enable mirror again. So I go back to layout, go to mirror, and let's see. Which one was the right one? Alright, this looks good. Apply. Okay, so when the objects are joined together, then it works with Control R as well. I will try it out next time. Alright, symmetrize, sculpt. Is there another remesh menu? Ah, I see. Let's see. Can't see symmetrize. Ah, I see. Cool. Thanks again. Thanks a lot. Symmetrize in edit mode. Alright. This is what we have so far. Let me hide that light and camera. So I think this is quite a good base. Now let's see, what time is it? Almost 9 PM for me right now. But yeah, for 2.5 hours, I think this is a good progress. Yeah, symmetrize is under the mirror function here. So, all right. I think I'm coming to an end for today. Let's continue a little bit with some touch-ups. And next week I would continue with the hands and teeth, and then I would start with the accessories, I think. And fleshing out the attitude a bit more, and then giving him some armor and clothes, I would say. Yeah, I hope you liked it so far, and I'm really looking forward to the next steps. I already like that little fella, and I'm really looking forward to holding a miniature of him in my hands soon. Hands and feet. Yeah, the feet, I have to do them as well. They are just blobs right now. But I will try to figure out a workflow to make it a bit faster, especially with the fingers and the toes. And would normally use the curve brush in ZBrush to draw out an individual finger or toe, and then refine that so I have the basic structure in place, and then duplicate it and adjust it to fit to the rest of the character. So I will try to figure out a workflow to do that in ZBrush, in Blender, sorry, and then yeah, move on to the clothes and accessories and armor plates and stuff. So yeah, I hope you liked it. Thanks everyone for joining today. I think I will do more streams during the week as well, like the study stream, where I would study anatomy, and we can chat about how certain parts of the body work, which I would really like to do. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining today. I hope you liked the start of this project here, and maybe we can do some variations of that character during the stream. So you can suggest some accessories that we could put onto the character to print it out. So yeah, thank you everybody. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next stream, probably next Sunday. And if there's another stream during the week, I will put a notification on YouTube as well as on my Twitch schedule. So yeah, we can hang out again. And yeah, good night everybody, or good morning wherever you are, and thanks a lot. It was a lot of fun. Let's wait a bit for the chat. I think there's a slight delay in the stream, so I'm not sure how long it is. But yeah, I will leave you here, so see you next time. Bye everybody. So